Good afternoon, everyone. Relate the moment when someone texts you a K and suddenly you spend the next 10 minutes wondering, are they angry, upset, or just lazy? One letter, zero content, but 100 assumptions. This is exactly how fast we jump into conclusions with people and situation. Today, I want to show you how a small shift in perspective, like reading that same message with a different tone, can completely change the meaning of our lives. Because our life changes the moment our perspective does. During my sixth grade, we had this group project which required everyone to work together closely. And in that group, there was one member who stood out for a very quiet reason. She never spoke during discussions. She never suggested ideas. She never jumped in when everyone was debating. She just listened, silently, almost invisibly. And without even realizing anything, the rest of us formed the same conclusion. She is not interested. She doesn't care. She probably won't contribute anyway. We never asked her. We never checked. We simply assumed. And one day, when I stayed back at class a little late, I saw something that didn't match any of those assumptions. She was sitting alone, practicing the exact lines that we had prepared for the introduction part. She was practicing so hard that I was honestly surprised. When I asked her if she was preparing for something, she hesitated for a moment and told me that she wanted to speak during the presentation. But she gets afraid when she speaks something wrong in front of everyone. That moment hit me hard. She was not uninterested, she was afraid. She was not disengaged. She was trying harder than any one of us, but in a way we didn't bother to notice. So all our judgments based on the story was on one side, the side which was the easiest to see. Our brains hate the unfinished stories. So the moment we don't look at to the other side, we usually fill it with false assumptions. This is called the cognitive shortcut. It's the brain's way of saving time. Instead of waiting for the whole truth, we jump up to the fastest explanation. And that's why a serious face becomes their rude. A silly mistake becomes they are irresponsible, and silence becomes they don't care. It's not because we are bad people, but it's because our brain is trying to protect us by giving quick answers, even if those answers are wrong. Psychologists explain this with something called the fundamental attribution error. We assume that someone's behavior is due to their character and not their circumstances. And that's what exactly happened with the girl in my group. Her silence was not empty, but our assumptions were so loud that we were not able to hear anything else. So, my dear friends, one behavior can have two meanings, and our brain almost always picks the wrong one first. So, what can we do with this? We don't need more examples or we don't need to overthink it. We just need one rule, and I call it my flip rule. Before I judge someone or before I react to a situation, I ask myself this one question: what might be happening on the other side which I can't see? That's all. That one small mental flip from assumption to curiosity changes everything. Most people say that perspective is a soft skill, something nice to have. It's not. Perspective is a choice, and every choice has a cost. So, the moment we don't look up to the other side, we not just misunderstand people, we become less patient, less curious, less human. We stop asking questions, we start labeling. And when someone becomes a label in your mind, you no longer feel responsible for how you treat them. And that's why friendships fade without arguments, teams break without fights, and individuals feel lonely in rooms full of others. So, what's the dangerous part? None of this happens loudly. It happens quietly, in thoughts, in assumptions that we never question. So, my dear friends, imagine this: how different our classrooms would feel, how different our friendships would become, and how different our workplaces would have transformed. Not because people suddenly changed, but because we finally chose to see the side which we were ignoring. So, the next time someone texts you a K, pause. The next time someone stays quiet, pause. The next time you feel some situation is incomplete, flip it. because the difference between misunderstanding and connection, and between judgment and empathy, and between conflict and clarity is just one small shift to the other side. Thank you.